Welcome back, everyone. So, I think I first heard about the van life as a movement or as a thing through YouTube videos. I think I'd started out watching tiny house videos, which are what they sound like, very, very small houses, people trying to make smaller and smaller houses. But then also some of them were on wheels and some of them were converted vans. So then I saw many videos of both tiny houses and vans, which end up being very similar things. Some people, will use an actual van and convert it into their own mini house, but some people will buy an RV, which is more of a pre-made, movable house. Or you get all sorts of strange variations, like even those giant sort of trailer trucks that are traditionally used for hauling
freight.
Yeah, people will convert the insides of those, which are absolutely enormous. So all kinds. From the very basic to the very top. But I think, what another thing that connects these two movements, tiny house and van life, is the desire for more freedom. A frustration with paying a massive amount of rent, or not being able to afford the deposit to buy a house, a full-size house. So why not buy something smaller or cheaper, like a van? A desire to see the world, to live an alternative sort of lifestyle. These are some of the motivations that get people into this. But of course, because I've encountered it on YouTube, a lot of what I've seen is a very romanticized version of van life. People who are very skilled in editing, lighting, photography, who have built beautiful vans to show off and to create an entire YouTube channel around. So a lot of them have got perhaps a bit more money than your average person. They have spent a lot on decorating these beautiful vans in order to create their money on YouTube. However, this might ignore some of the realities of van life. Those initial YouTube channels I saw, they never talked about, well, what happens when the van breaks down? What happens if you don't know how to fix it? What happens if you have all kinds of different problems? What are the laws in different places, different countries? Can you just park the van anywhere? How much are you going to pay for parking spots? Can you connect it to the water or not? Or can you find toilets? There's 1,000 different issues that the beautiful YouTube channels often ignore. But in more recent years, I think some more honest van lifers have come onto YouTube and social media and started being a bit more real and showing their problems and their difficulties. People who wanted van life for the freedom and the low cost, they aren't so interested in displaying this glamorous lifestyle. They will often recount all of their trials and tribulations in a bit more of an honest way.
That's nice.
So I think people perhaps can be more aware of what they're really choosing before they get into this lifestyle.
Right.
I can't say I'm that interested in it for myself because I don't know how to fix vans. I can't even drive. Like, it's not really realistic for me, but it's very cool. It's a bit of a dream for me. So what do you think, John? Do you think van life would provide a lot of freedom?
I was about to say, ironically, no. There is an amount of freedom that you will get from it. It means you can sleep in locations that are not permanent, right? However, like you were saying, the sort of logistics behind living in a van might feel almost trapping. Like you feel a little bit almost claustrophobic because your choices of where to go, when to go, how to get there, you have to be planning so much. And for a person that loves planning, great, you just found your calling. But for a person like me that's not really a detailed planner, this would actually feel very limiting. Like, I want to go here, but really I can only realistically go here. So wouldn't it be better just to have a house and then drive my own car here and then drive it back type feeling? So in one way, I probably give a lot of freedom, right? Especially if you're in a country that's a little bit more open to parking anywhere. And in another way, you're going to be severely limited, or at least frustratingly limited, I would assume.
Yeah. I think also due to legal reasons, Van life is way more difficult in Europe, particularly in the UK, where I'm from. There are very few people who are able to make it work because of the very limited amount of places you can park the van in order to sleep overnight. Whereas America is actually quite liberal and much more open with its rules. There are a lot more places you're legally allowed to park and sleep.
Yeah.
So it depends on your country. Yeah. Why would van life be relatively easy to romanticize on social media?
I wonder, I kind of disagree with the question. I think anything is easy to romanticize on social media because all you do need is maybe some good lighting, some good editing skills, and just take enough shots that look good enough. And the rest you can just edit out. However, I think it is that almost primal nature in us to reconnect with nature and also to have the freedom to do what we want. And even in a country as limiting as the UK, you can still edit out the parts of like, oh, we couldn't park anywhere but here. And you can still show like, well, we just visited this place and this place and look how amazing it is to just drive and sleep in this random area. Random meaning the only one in like 100 kilometers that you can actually go to. So it's kind of like easy to just edit out the bad parts and show that connection to nature and freedom.
Yeah, I guess it's that nature part, that sort of back to nature, living raw, living real.
Living raw in the car.
Yeah, in the car that you spent ages building. And
get a wagon and build your own log cabin.
Just walk.
Walk your way.
On your back.
These kids these days.
Having it easy in a car. Anyway, while you consider dreaming of the great outdoors, take the vocab with you, pack it in your van. You can always study English on the road, you know, I'm sure both are possible. Romanticize your English life. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Captivate.
Captivate.
Foray.
Foray.
Peel back.
Peel back.
Disillusionment.
Disillusionment.
Perception.
Perception.